perks of literally not being able to sleep on vacation. A lot of people who I guess own like tourist shops start their day around now, and a lot of bakeries are actually open really early to accommodate for these people. But I get to wake up to the beautiful sunrise. You guys know that I love all things sun, so this is a super peaceful and nice morning. First morning in Milos. So I know I told you guys I have travel brain in the sense that my body doesn't let me sleep in. So I thought the first day it was like due to jet lag. It was probably because I got up at 2 a.m. so that was pretty early. But ever since I've been getting up still between the hours of like late 4 o'clock to 6 a.m. But we're in Milos, so of course we're at the famous Sarakiniko beach right now. It's sunrise and I'm so happy. Like I could cry. I could actually cry. And I know like everyone who like knows me in real life is like, you literally don't have any emotion. And I probably don't even sound that animated. When I look back at this video, I'm gonna be like, I don't even sound happy. But like my inner happiness, like I'm so excited and I'm so happy to be here. And I'm so glad that I caught the sunrise. So I think this side of the beach is the picturesque side where you take pictures. I'm gonna head over to the swimming side to go take a look now. Chilling in my hotel room. I'm exhausted. I'm supposed to meet Ali for dinner, which we will be doing, but it's 5:45 and I haven't eaten since breakfast, so like I'm feeling a little like I'm about to pass out, you know? Like I'm about to faint. I'm feeling a little weak, so I just ordered a Greek salad. Apparently people are like, oh, the Greek salad's here out of this world, but I'm like, I wonder if Greek salad is legit like a tourist trap. I don't know. Cheese is good. Olive is good. Honestly, nothing really out of the ordinary. I will say though, the tomatoes are good. The tomatoes in Europe are so much better than the ones in Vancouver. Because once again, I don't think we can even grow tomatoes in Vancouver. Say hi. Hi. We're here at dinner. I'm with Emily and Jeffrey. Hi. Oh, can't even see them, blocked by the plants. Literally. You're troubleshooting Ali's camera. Yeah. So here, just hold it like that. Okay. Perfect. Wait, the lighting's so good. Hi. Okay. There's an eggplant which are actually cooked in the sand. Apparently we're near like sure.
Alright, there you go.
Apparently we're near like the volcanic area. Some type of volcano. Yeah, some type of volcano. So the food is cooked in the sand because the water there is hot. And we also have some grilled prawns.
Olives with the bread and some octopus stew. And I think we still have one more dish coming, but we're gonna eat.
Yeah.
Thanks. Are you filming? Yeah. I'm gonna hope it's something's there. Okay. I'm here, but I'm literally the only one here and I'm a little bit confused. I do know you have to descend a ladder, which I think is down there from what I see. I brought, like, I'm wearing like my sneakers because there was no way I'm gonna be able to do that in flip-flops, but like, look, this is my little car and yeah, I'm just gonna go down and see what it's all about. I like read this like TripAdvisor review where someone was like, oh, it's so busy, especially because we went in the morning. I'm like, what time is morning? Because it's like 7:30. I think that's like late, honestly. So I'm kind of just wondering where everyone is. I can see the beach a little bit, but like I guess you have to wait in the afternoon on the south side for the sun to come. And I'm doing all the south side beaches today just because I did all the north side beaches yesterday. They were all, like, most of them were really pretty. I will, you know, give a whole rating for all of them, I guess you could say, but it's just really windy on the north side. So like today, like the wind blowing at me, this is really calm, because in the morning I went to Sarakiniko yesterday and like wind, and I was like, oh my goodness. So wish me luck on my descent. I can't vlog it, sorry, but I'll vlog it when I get down. Bye. Okay, this ladder is missing a step. I also would not recommend that you come here wearing like nice clothes because it's all like volcanic rock. So it kind of just like, it doesn't stain, but like I guess if you were to, like my pants are kind of like getting red, but that's fine. Like I don't really care about these pants. But like if I actually wore my like effortless pants today, I'd probably be pretty pissed and I wouldn't descend. So one more ladder to go. Okay. I'm literally sweating. My hair is going to be tied up this entire vlog because it's just windy all over the Greek Islands. But I made it down. Holy shit. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it, but you need to bring runners. No flip-flops. My pants are pretty like stained. I don't know if you guys can see. Worth it for the experience. So we're gonna do a little recap of Milos, the island. And so, I'm sorry, I didn't get so much footage of the island itself because I was too busy driving around. Now, Milos is actually really, really small, and honestly, I would say probably a third of it is actually closed off to off-roading only. So because I rented like a car and I had like a small car, I didn't have like really high clearance, my rental company was like, oh, you can't go to these areas marked B, which is essentially the entire west side of the island and then a little bit of the east side. Now, if you have an off-roading vehicle, ATV, dune buggy, no problem. If you have a car with higher clearance, you can probably go to, you just have to go a little bit slower. Basically from one end to another, like at most takes 20 minutes, which is like insane because I'm like, that's literally my commute to work. And it's actually really easy to get around. There's one road and one road only. So if you are in Milos, I highly recommend that you rent any sort of vehicle yourself, because the bus, honestly, even the most popular bus routes come like every hour to 1.5 hours. And my hotel concierge also told me that the bus literally doesn't have like designated stops. If you see it, you can just like wave it down and then you just tell the bus driver where you want to get off, which to me I thought was insane. There are some like designated bus stops at tourist locations, but that's like so tourists know like, okay, we can wait here for the bus to come. In terms of, oh, another thing that's a culture shock, I can't remember if I put it in the other video or not, but Ali and I were both shocked that and like in most of Greece, minus the like potentially the super expensive places, but like in most islands in Greece, like they have like what they call municipal parking lots, which are free. and the parking lots are always located close to the city center, like just like a little bit ways away, but it's a designated like free parking area. And I was like, when my hotel concierge was telling me this, I was like, free? Because I was asking him, I was like, oh, how do I get to town from here? Like, what bus do I take? Can I walk? And he was like, oh, there's free parking. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, in each like city or like city center around the island, there's free parking. And I was like shook. And he was like, do you not have that in your country? I'm like, no. I'm like, in Vancouver, they will take everything from you. You have a penny, they'll take it. Honestly, in Europe, like they do drive slower because the limit basically everywhere in Milos is 50 kilometers. Most limits in town are like 30. But I find that it's actually like they drive better and people care less. Like I was making a left turn, but of course there was like people like crossing the street and everything like that, and there was just no car in front of me but a biker guy, and I didn't see him because a truck in front of him had just turned. And like if this was in Vancouver and I did that and I basically like cut someone off, the biker would have like flipped me off and I'd been like, dude, like you're the one driving behind the truck, like how can I see you? But this guy literally looks at me and he's just like signaling me to go, and he's like, I'll just go like around you, which is like, okay, great. But that's like one thing that I really love about just like Europe in general, and like I guess like Milos, is that people don't really care. Like if you accidentally cut someone off, it's really not a big deal unless you do something like really stupid that warrants like an actual horn honking. Like people are just like flexible, like, oh okay, you can turn first, like whatever. That's why I tell people like I would not be afraid to go back and like do an ATV, do a dune buggy, whatever, because I just feel like everyone there is just like super chill. But on that note, I will give you guys a fair warning. Like yeah, there are a lot of people ATVing, but ATVs are actually very, very dangerous. So before you actually think you can ride one, just like think it through very carefully. One thing people don't know about ATVs is they can actually flip relatively easily, especially if you decide to go off-roading. So it really is up to you to keep your center of gravity on the ATV, which contributes a lot to the ATV not flipping over and stuff like that. And the reason why like I tell people ATVs are dangerous is because once they flip, like either one or the other leg is going to get pinned if you go down on either side. But yeah, so like if you get into a car accident or you cause an accident or something happens while you're on an ATV, travel insurance is just like, no, that policy is void. That would go with a dune buggy. So a dune buggy is essentially just like an open car. You could almost think about it like, it's like a low hanging Jeep, a low clearance Jeep. So it's not like Jeep style where it's like square, but you like kind of just like sit in it and chill. But it just doesn't have, like, you're like exposed, right? So you get that ATV experience, but you are pushing acceleration and brake just like driving. And the steering wheels are the same. And the reason why I like dune buggies better is because in the chance that you're off-roading and you fall to the side, well, you have an entire cage blocking you. So for those of you who have Jeeps and like no off-roading, like, you know, you can take your Jeep apart and then there's like the handles on the side that you can hold on to and that kind of stuff. So it's essentially just like the skeleton of a car, but you have something to hold on to and nothing's going to like pin you, right? Because you're just like sitting. So on the first day, I went to all the north side beaches. Just so you guys know, the north side, super windy. So if it's a really windy day, I'd probably recommend going to the south side to the beach because it's more sheltered from the wind. Give me a second. I have to look it up. It's time to be real. Wait, guys, we're gonna capture this be real moment together. Okay, from the north side, where you can drive in an actual car. Number one, firopotamas. From the west side, north. So firopotamas, pretty famous on TikTok. It's like a little fishing village. Looks really pretty, super picturesque. Next up, I went to Alagomandra Beach. So this is, we're heading closer towards the east side. Alagomandra is really nice. It was just really windy once again. Papafragas caves, just so you guys know. First of all, the water is starting to get like gray, murky, and I was like, okay, interesting. Second of all, it's closed right now, so you can't actually descend. I mean, I guess people break the rules, but I personally would not, because I was like looking down, I was like, shit, that is steep, and if there is no actual way to get down and it says it's closed, there must be a reason. And then on the very east side, on the north coast of Milos, we have Pollonia Beach. So Pollonia is a very like cute city as well, where a lot of people stay. The beach is really nice, sand beach, shallow waters, a little bit of rock, Most of these beaches on the north side that I mentioned are sand, with the exception of Papafragas Caves. Alagamandra is, I think, a little bit of both, but the first one, I can't remember the name. Oh, firopotamas. Firopotamas is sand, and then sarakiniko is obviously just a bunch of rock. There is a little sandy area you can swim in. Also, sarakiniko, it's actually very rare that you can swim and like do the cliff jumping that everyone sees, because I went to go look at where people jump off, and holy shit, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm jumping into that, because the waves were crashing into the rocks like crazy. And I was like, I'm actually gonna die if I do that today. And then we have the south side beaches. So like I said, most of the west side of Milos is closed off. Now there are a lot of nice beaches. So there's Cleftico Beach, and that's only accessible by boat tour. So Ali did a boat tour. Go watch her YouTube. She'll talk about it. Cleftico Beach, yeah, you cannot access even through off-roading. And then Ali and Jeffrey went to some like black sand beach. It's again in the off-roading area, so I can't really speak too much about it, but that's like the entire west side is a huge chunk of Milos, and you cannot really reach it unless you off-road. So I don't know about any of the beaches there per se, but I did go to, okay, so I went to Sirroco Beach. Once again, don't be stupid and think you can make it down if you can't. If you cannot, nobody's gonna hold it against you. You need to be fit to do it, and like, just be honest with yourself, like don't lie, because I needed to like actually pull myself up and pull myself down and like hold myself and maneuver myself around. If you cannot reach Sirroco Beach through those steep ladders, it's okay, because guess what? Right beside Sirroco Beach, there's a beach called firopotamas, and from firopotamas you can actually take a canoe tour to Sirroco Beach, which is, wow, so much nicer. You can also bring your own canoe, I guess, if you're a local, or you can do a boat tour too, and they can stop in at Sirroco as well. So there are multiple ways to get into that beach that don't involve you hurting yourself to the point where you will be incapacitated for the rest of your trip. So just go with that if you're unsure. And then there's Pollonia Beach, and people like it because it's cool, and there's like this like cool like volcanic rock formation that's kind of like pink and red. There's also a restaurant, Sirroco, that we went to eat at, where they cook things like, there's a part of the menu that's like flavors in the sand. It was okay, honestly. Like, I wanted to taste the flavor of the sand, and I don't know what the hell that is, but I think it's just cool like marketing ploy. And I actually got to see like where they cooked it in the sand, you know? So that was pretty cool, but I was just like, oh, like, I wanted, because you know when you smoke something, there's a smoky flavor to it. Like, I want to be able to taste the sand, not in a literal way, but I want to be able to like truly like understand why, like how this came to be. Other food wise, honestly, we're doing budget meals this entire trip. The conversion, like Canadian to Euro, is absolute shit right now. I actually messaged my parents. I was like, you guys should not be expecting any souvenirs coming home, because like, holy shit, I cannot believe how expensive the conversion is right now. So I guess my aim for this trip is just to use up the euro I have, so I don't have to cry, because I spent money buying those euros already, so that's money gone already, instead of just like putting it on my card and watching as my bank slowly drains. Also, gyros here are really cheap. They put fries in their gyros. I don't know why. I don't really like that, but they do, so just letting you guys know. So yeah, they put fries in their gyros, and then you can order, like, I ordered like a pita, which was the smallest size yesterday, and it cost me €3.50, and the thing was like the size of my hand. That's like huge, and it was like I'll put the video clip here, but it's like, that's actually huge for something that's like €3. I mean, I don't know how many Canadian dollars that is. I just double it in my head now because I feel like that's what it is at this point. Milos so far is like my 10 out of 10 island. 12 out of 10. Honestly, it was such a vibe. I think it's just because it's so easy to access everything that I didn't feel nervous driving. Oh my gosh, guys, there's this one road in Milos that I like to call Russian Roulette Great Driving Edition, because I swear to you, it's a three-way and nobody has a stop sign. Like, everyone just, I think maybe has a yield, if that even. So I'm just like, as I'm driving through this like Russian roulette road, I'm looking and I'm like shitting my pants. I'm like, holy crap, like, am I gonna die today? But anyways, other than that, like, driving in Milos is just like super fun, and I feel like because the island is relatively small, it's easy to get around and it's easy to remember where you need to go. I think the overall vibe like is for me because it's just like chill. And the hotel I stayed at, it was like also super chill, so I would definitely stay there again. And so yeah, I just overall like I feel like I really vibed with Milos, honestly, and I would go back any day. Okay, and that is it for the Milos vlog. As always, if there are any questions or additional comments or whatever, you can feel free to comment below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can make traveling my full-time job. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.